If your ink's too slow and your nib won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to see you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hey folks, welcome to Larry's Fountain Pen Review. Today we're doing the top 3 inks, and today's guest is going to be Marilyn. So Marilyn, I'm going to turn the show over to you, and thank you for joining me today, hon. So tell the people what you got for them.
Hello, how are you guys doing today? I have some very special inks for you, and I think I have a problem. I think I have a very large problem. I'm going to show you my very large problem right now. You all are going to be so proud that I went through all of my inks, my many inks, and narrowed it down to just a few inks that I wanted to show you all today. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how when you put ink in a pen, you can have one of 2 very interesting experiences. This is Apache Sunset and a broad nib. And it's a really nice color ink. I love it a lot.
It is.
Oh, nice. And you can get little tiny bits of shading, but when you put it in a flex nib, in a very fine flex nib, you get some really crazy looking shading.
Yeah, totally different.
If you didn't know better, you would never think that these were the same ink.
Never. At least I wouldn't.
Not in a million years.
No.
So my advice to you is, if you're trying to get a little bit of expression out of your fountain pens, maybe use a Pilot Falcon and try and get some shading out of your ink. Now, I did the same thing with Lamy Dark Lilac, and you would never think that these 2 were the same ink.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And the next bit is Nemesine Blue Snowball Nebula Twinkle. This is my absolute favorite blue. And Alexa, stop. And I got the idea to do something very interesting. Nemesine stopped making this ink, and they reformulated it to Birmingham Blizzard Twinkle, but I didn't like it. So I made my own inks that Larry so generously provided. Last Christmas, he gifted me this wonderful set of mix your own color ink set. And I'm so grateful, Larry. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
And over the year, I've been experimenting with making different inks with these. But my favorite ones is this Krishna cyan, and I put some silver luster dust in it that I bought from Hobby Lobby in the food section. And I mixed it together, and I made this beautiful sparkly ink.
And it looks pretty. It really nice.
This is the one, let me tell you. It's really nice. And then my second one is I did the yellow, and I called it MMD Golden Afternoon.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. That's just gorgeous. It's good looking.
My favorite movie is Alice in Wonderland, and the song that they do is Golden Afternoon. That's about all of this.
That's beautiful.
And it has, I don't know if you can see the shimmer. Can you see the shimmer?
It looks really lovely. Did a good job on that one.
And all it is just mixing the yellow food color, the yellow Krishna primary yellow, and a little bit of gold shimmer luster dust. And then my last one that I want to show off is Diatromits's Document Black. And this might seem like a boring one comparatively, but this ink is the only ink that I use on letters because it stays fast. Like, it does not move. And that is a very important thing to use when you're addressing letters because you want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere.
No, that is a really nice, sophisticated look in the ink. It just really looks nice. I just like the way it came out. You know, I've never used that kind of ink before. I never even knew it looked this good till you now presented.
I have been looking for like the one. We all have the rainbow of colors that we like. Monteverde Valentine red is the red. Cross violet is the violet.
Okay.
Like Lamy dark lilac, that's the one. But like Apache, you can't go wrong with Apache sunset and Diatramentus document black, and all of these wonderful colors. I know I couldn't just bring it down to 3, but if I had to choose out of all of these, I would have to say that the blue, cyan, and the golden afternoon and the Diatramentus document black.
Yeah.
My top 3 favorite inks. Like I could use them every day.
I like them. Yep.
Well, what do you think about that?
I like them.
I have way too many inks.
Now, if you're done sharing your 3 favorites, can we go? Can I ask you some questions now?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. Tell the people how you use that. Tell the people how you use that and what gave you the idea to get that silver stuff that you bought.
I saw this. This was my first, I guess, shimmering ink.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and it looked different than it looked here because it looked white, almost white. And I couldn't believe that there was like a white ink out there.
Right.
But when I got it, it came out this dark blue ink, and I was like, that's really crazy. I did not think that this blue ink would be, this white, shiny, shimmery stuff. And I thought, I really want to do something like this. And I went and I looked up, nail sparkles,
Okay.
but they were too thick. They weren't going through the feed. And so I tossed that idea. And I saw that J.R. Bond made Kyanite du Nepal, and like I don't know if you can see the sparkles in there, but it's a really nice sparkly ink, and it has a really cool effect when you use it on very poor quality paper. When you put it on the page and it feathers out, it looks like snowflakes. So sometimes I'll use that on my letters when I'm doing Christmas cards and stuff, because it'll look like I'm writing with crystals. They look like they'll have little feather crystals coming out of it. So yeah.
Okay, so again, you get that bottle of ink.
Yeah.
And what do you mix it up with?
Gold or silver. Hobby Lobby has.
Right. Okay, now, when you mixed up that ink, those 2 bottles didn't come with that box of ink, right?
No, I did not.
So you pulled out the bottle of ink that you wanted to try, right? Yeah. And then you wanted to change that color, not by adding another ink, but by adding this powder or whatever that is.
Yep, just by adding a little bit of powder. I just took a little tiny. I took the cap off of a pen, and I just because it's kind of a scoop. I just scooped just the teeny tiny
right there. Okay.
And I put the ink in. I put it in the ink, and then it turned out like this.
Gotcha.
I just shake it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there it is.
Beautiful. Now back to the question: how did you come to the conclusion to use this? I'm going to call it dust gold or whatever.
Yeah.
What made you say, well, you know what? I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, wherever. I'm going to get some of this stuff.
Well, a friend of mine, she was making a cake, and they had blue luster dust, and they have all the colors. It's a rainbow of colors. I just have the gold and the silver,
Okay.
but they're like $5 a little cartridge, you know, and you mix a little bit of alcohol and you can paint like silver, like on a cake. And I thought, well, if it works good for that, it might work in a fountain pen. And it's food grade, so it's not going to hurt the pen. I mean, they wouldn't sell you anything that's going to hurt you. So I figure if it's healthy enough to go in my body, it's probably good enough to go in the pen. I mean, there's no scientific evidence of this except for trying it out.
Now, is that for also you can put that in cakes, food to eat?
Yep, it's food grade luster dust. Yep, it's from Hobby Lobby. Luster dust. This is what it looks like right here. Oops.
Okay.
It comes in a little package just like this, and they have all the colors. There's gold and silver, and they have blue and purple and
Dust. Okay.
all of the different luster dusts. Yeah, and that's where it's at.
Wow.
I have at least used all of the colors that I get. I will mix just like a little tiny bit in one of these dinky dip things.
Yeah.
Like itty bitty containers, and mix a little tiny bit, and I'll use my ink and I'll my pen, and I'll write a little bit with it just to see if it will look good with any of the colors that I have. And I mostly throw most of them away because some of them are kind of ugly. But this one I definitely had to keep around, and that one was like the start of it all.
Yeah.
After I saw this blue snowball nebula twinkle, I was like, I have to do all of the ink. It would sparkle in it now, all of the shimmer ink.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive. So,
Okay.
did you, by any chance, get any of those inks and mix them up, or to try to get another color?
I have, but they mostly turn out brown.
Really? I wonder why.
I'm just not good at mixing colors, and that's okay. I understand that we all have our weaknesses and we all have our strengths, and that's just not one of my strengths.
Wow. Okay. So,
I have mixed inks before, but not these ones. I mixed Noodler's Apache Sunset with like a very teeny tiny bit of Monteverde Valentine Red. And I made another orangey ink, kind of like this one. I called it Golden Afternoon. Let's see. Is it in here? What did I do with it? I have a whole bunch of inks.
well, Marilyn, for one thing, you're very well organized, that's for sure.
I don't know about all that. I try and be, but when you have so many inks, people always ask me, oh, tell me about this ink. There it is. I always like, tell me about this ink. Tell me about that ink. And I'm always like, well, it's not for sale because I made it myself, and I made another one, and they're all so similar, and yet they're all the same. You know, they're just dyes and water, and put it in a fountain pen, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a different ink.
Wow, very, very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Wow. All
Any
right.
other questions for me?
Well, that was going to do it. So what are any other plans of any more inks?
Oh, yes.
You're going to change, or you're going to go back to Hobby Lobby and try different colors of, I'm going to say dust.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get more dust. But this December, I'm going to be doing the Diamine Ink Vent calendar. So if you guys are around and you haven't gotten one yet, you should probably do that because they're probably going to be gone pretty soon. If they haven't gotten done already.
I'll probably bring you back next month to talk a little bit about that calendar if you're not doing nothing.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
That
I'd
would
love to
kind
be
of,
on.
yeah, that would be kind of fun, I think. At least I'd be interested in it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
also going to be doing a giveaway of
Okay.
some of the inks from the calendar because, as you guys know, I have way too many inks.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. Yep. Well, okay then, hon. That's going to wrap it up, but I do appreciate you taking the time and explaining how you come up with that formula because I wouldn't
Oh
even know
yeah,
where to begin. I am no ink master, no
and
mixer, nothing. It's just like, what the heck is that?
and as a warning to anybody who is even thinking about doing this, I would not put this in like a pen with a lot of fins like the any gin house or any Conklins, you know, the ones with the plastic feed. Like I wouldn't put any in any ones with, you know, these little tiny fins. I would only put it in like a Noodler's pen or
Okay.
like a Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib or something with a very wide feed because you don't want to get it stuck. You want to be able to pull it out easy. Don't put this in your like Mont Blancs or
Right. Yeah.
any pins that you can't remove the feed because you'll definitely ruin it. So be fair warned.
All right. So those are your. All right. I tell you what. Just before we go, give me one more of an ink that you really like that you didn't mention. I mean, that
Oh
you
my
really like, but you forgot to mention.
Put me on the spot, why don't you? My favorite ink, like I have been searching for a bottle of this ever since. Like they were like, oh, well, we're selling this ink, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden it was gone. You couldn't find it on the internet, and like I found one on eBay for like $160, and I scoffed at it. I was like, no one's gonna pay $160 for a bottle of ink. No way. Yeah, guess how much I paid for this little tiny bottle of Lamy Dark Lilac? Yes, take a wild guess. $239.
What?
$239. So if you guys have a full bottle of Nemesis Blue Snowball Nebula Twinkle, hit me up.
Whoa, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I wanted it very badly, and I am so glad that I got it. It is so beautiful. Oh shoot, I can't show you because it's in the mail. But I made my best friend this Christmas card, and I just like put several blobs of ink on you know, like one of these, only I did it with Lamy Dark Lilac, and the big splotches of ink. It has this beautiful gold sheen around it, and it feathers out into like this beautiful purple and pink and blue, like right on the edge, and it's just super crazy to look at. Like I don't have any other inks that do that. Like I was like, whoa! And the only other ink that I have that does that is GR Bomb Emerald of Chivor, but I don't play with that one very much. I think I'm out. I'm out of my favorite inks, Emerald of Chivor and Kyanite Dunipal. I was really hoping to have it for this video, but it's in the mail, so what can you do?
Well, okay then, Hunt. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing this.
And thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And I hope people enjoyed it, and I hope they've learned something from it. I did, because I had no idea you could do what you did.
Yeah, for sure. All you gotta do is just do a little bit of experimentation.
What gave you the idea to go to Hobby Lobby to get this dust?
Like I said, a friend of mine was making a cake.
Yeah.
And she told us where she got her luster dust from. And I was like, well, I tried that finger paint glitter, but that was too thick. it didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
My pen clogged up, and I even tried the fountain pen Revolution Ultraflex, and it didn't like it at all. And the only way I could get it to go was in a dip nib. Well, I don't like using dip nibs that much. So I was like, I need to find an alternate, you know. And I went online, and there a couple of them were like $30, $40 just for a little tiny thing like this. I'm like, And I saw on Amazon that they had a package of the luster dust for $5, and it said Hobby Lobby on it. And I thought, well, that's interesting. There's a Hobby Lobby right down the street. I'll just go check it out. And they have like a whole wall of cake stuff, and they've got like the luster dusts right there. And I got me these two, and I wanted to get more, but I was in a hurry. So
Wow.
I am definitely gonna try some more luster dusts out. I want to get some purple luster dusts, and I want to get some blue luster dusts.
Interesting. And
Maybe mix them all together and make a rainbow luster dust. Can you imagine?
All right, dear. Well, again, thank you for joining me and sharing this, because, you know, it was educational, and I learned something from it, and I didn't even know you could do that with ink like that. I had no earthly idea. So
I mean, I wouldn't, if you're gonna try this, you know, just do like a little sample, or like even like a quarter. Don't use your whole sample. Do a little bit, you know. Give it a try. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You throw it away. I mean, it's just ink. There's plenty more out there, you know.
you're right.
Unless
All right.
it's like a limited edition or something.
Thank you a lot.
Well,
And
let's just
enjoy that $259 jar of Lamy ink.
Yeah,
Woo!
I know, right? It's the best.
All right.
Well,
Peace
thanks
out.
for having me on. Have a